You're listening to the Out of the Cave podcast with your host, Junior and the Captain. This is a podcast where we talk about things going on in the world and share opinions without worrying about political correctness. Remember, it's all about respect, keeping an open mind, and always having a good time.
Captain, what is going on?
Hello, hello, hello. We are back.
Yes, another podcast. But I think this podcast was slightly delayed.
It was, unfortunately.
Because we got stuff going on.
Yeah.
Good stuff, but lives. We have lives. But, nothing's more important than our fans. So we're happy that we're here and getting the chance to talk to everyone again. Hope everyone is doing well. And we had another week of crazy activity going on in this crazy USA.
Yeah, man, it's like every day, no matter which way you look at it, it's always something to talk about. That's why I actually like this thing, because we could just write down topics throughout the week and then just talk about it here. Because it's I think I had mentioned that before, where it's like there's not nothing to talk about. There's always something.
Well, and that's the goal here at the Out of the Cave podcast. We're here because we want to talk about the funny things that are going on in this world, but we're doing it in a way where we share our opinions. Sometimes we have the same opinion, sometimes we don't, just like everyone else on this planet. But we do it in a way where we respect each other and we have fun.
That's it.
And I feel like a lot of people these days have forgotten about that. They don't know how to have fun anymore.
Yeah, that sucks, right?
Yeah, it seems like everyone I know is like a lawyer or a constitutional expert, and
they never went to school for
it.
They
never went to school, and I'm just like, I remember these people when they were, just drinking and
that's it, man, tearing shit up at the houses, man.
And the dumbest people that I had known in school.
That shit, as a matter of fact, it makes me think back in the days, just regular school parties, right? After football game parties, whatever, right? Dude, there was this one particular time I'll never forget. It was after a big win of our football team, and this one kid who back in the days, you consider like, your nerds, your jocks and all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's one kid who he belonged to, like, I wouldn't really say the nerds, but he was a quiet kid that has his own little group and all that stuff, right? Well, he had a little party. It wasn't a after football party. It was just a little gathering. His parents went away and he had his group of friends over. Well, one of those friends went and told one person, then that person went and told another person. And next thing you know, you got the football team, you got everybody showing up to this kid's place. I remember showing up, bro, and I don't know, 18, 17, I don't know what the fuck I was at that time. But I show up to this party, and I just couldn't believe the craziness. This kid, he didn't know what the fuck to do. To the point where I see this one kid who actually was, he was on the football team, bro, and all I see him do is put his head through that kid's wall.
Oh my
just
God.
to fucking do it. Back in those days, I didn't realize that, there's a fucking 2x4 behind that fucking sheetrock. Well, thank God in this particular case, there was no 2x4. His head went right through that fucking wall, right? And I was just amazed at the shit that people were pulling. But this kid had to get that house back in order. It almost reminded me of fucking, you remember that movie Weird Science?
Yeah, of course.
Where they destroy the house and then
they got to fix it.
They got to fix the house, or even fucking the one with Tom Cruise, Risky Business.
Yeah.
Remember where he has that huge party, whatever, and his parents are coming? It actually reminded me of that. This kid went and got to replace the sheetrock,
right?
Spackle the motherfucker, paint the walls, everything, bro. Before the parents came.
And that kid today is Donald Trump.
That's probably who it is. But yeah, no.
So what happened to him? So what happened to the kid?
No, nothing. Nothing happened.
No, but what is he today?
No, I don't know where he is today. I'm just telling you that I remember that story based on what we're talking about, but I would like to know what he's doing. I'm sure listen, he must be an entrepreneur, bro, because he got all that shit going.
He got it. All right.
He got all that shit going back in the day when we were 16, 17 years old, man. He made that shit happen. So.
All right. Well, good. Yeah. Those are fun times. That's one of those segments that we're gonna have to talk about. Just going back through some of the funny shit that we've been through and some of these fun stories. I think our fans would love to hear that stuff.
Yeah, but going back to what I was alluding to is that the people today with all these critical remarks and all this shit about what's going on in the world and all that are the same motherfuckers that were destroying people's houses, the same motherfuckers that were out of control, and now all of a sudden they're experts in dictating to us how things should be and all this shit.
They're experts in constitutional law, they're experts in healthcare policy, they're experts in the disease rates across the globe in different countries. I'm just like, come on, people, come on.
Everybody has to be an expert.
Whatever.
Rather just be like us and say, hey, listen, we don't know we know we have a little understanding of what's going on, and let the true experts handle that shit.
Yeah.
And we'll just do our thing, right? But no, everybody has to throw in their little comments. Oh yeah, this that, it doesn't affect me, but it affects you. Who gives a fuck, man?
No, I know.
Whatever. Anyway.
So you know, we're gonna talk about some of that stuff. I'll tell you one thing: I'm still waiting for someone to fucking come up to me when I'm sitting at my dinner outside in a restaurant and tell me to fucking stand up. I'm gonna lose my shit. I'm not provoking people, but don't.
No, but that's not provoking.
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
If
you're
I'm
defending
sitting there,
yourself.
if I'm sitting there eating
Yeah.
if I'm sitting there eating a cheesecake or some dessert, and you're gonna come over and try to sit down. I saw a video recently where the person actually sat down, and the poor lady, she gets up and she's
Yeah.
like, "No, get off my table," and the guy just like runs to like get the waitress or something.
Yeah, but see, that's
I'm just waiting for that, bro. Because
Listen.
those people, I'm gonna like. It's gonna be like a WWE event. I'm gonna be throwing chairs. It's gonna be.
I
off
just don't.
the chain.
But why is it that every single one of those videos is always like an older couple
Yeah.
that you know they're not gonna do shit to you?
Yeah, because they pick who they think are weak.
Exactly. And then come on, man. Obviously, you know, for me, if they did the same thing, I'm not even going to say anything back to them. You know, I'm going to throw that punch right away. Because no matter which way you look
Yeah.
at it, I'm still defending myself. You come into my space, dude, I'm going to get you out of my space in 2 seconds.
I mean, I'm trying to think. Am I in the wrong if I
If you
punch
come-
them first?
No, listen, if you
So if I'm sitting down-
somebody's doing something to you, right? So it could be a threatening matter. Like, this is the classic case. What's threatening to you may not be threatening to
Right,
me,
right.
right? So it all depends on you. So, like, if you feel threatened, if you feel like somebody's doing something to you that's unnatural and it doesn't feel right, and you've knocked the shit out of them, you are not in the wrong, my man. You're not in the wrong. Because that person should never put you in that position in the first place.
Right. So if I'm eating a pasta and I'm out sitting in an outside seating area, and someone comes over in a crowd of people, and they want to sit at my table or they want to like stand up in my face, if I get up and then I punch them and knock them out, am I wrong?
Well, this is the thing. They're not just coming and sitting at your table and not just, you know, I mean,
They're menacing
just
me.
think,
They're
yeah,
menacing
exactly. But think about it like this. Somebody comes and sits at your table, and it's just a legitimate drunk person that doesn't even know what the fuck is going on.
No,
just like, you know, how like
yeah.
you've seen or heard many stories
But
where
not
drunk people
drunk
show
person.
up, go into somebody's house
Right.
thinking it's theirs.
Right.
They still get arrested, to be honest with you, but, right, because they entered into somebody's home. But in all honesty, were they really trying to commit a crime or anything? No, they're just drunk.
But
and they
we're
went to
talking
the
about
wrong
these
place.
like protester.
But these people, on the other hand,
Yeah.
is a completely different story because they're doing that, right, with a particular purpose in mind.
Right.
And their purpose is to threaten the person, right, to put them in a bad situation.
Right.
So, yeah, if somebody comes and does some shit like that and you knock their ass out, there's nothing wrong with that. The problem is that they always show clips. They edit these videos and all that so to fit their narrative,
Right.
no matter which way you look at it. So when somebody sees it, they're going to be like, oh, damn, why did that guy have to, you know, why did he punch him? That girl didn't say anything. Well,
Right.
yeah, well, how about 10 seconds prior
Right.
to me punching the girl? Why don't you show that part of it?
Right. Right.
And that's the whole thing. So in all honesty, do what you got to do, man. But I'm telling you that if that was me and I'm sitting outside and somebody came up to me like that, there's really no doubt about it. I'm not even going to say a damn thing. I'm just going to knock their ass out.
Yep.
It's really that simple. And if there's 20 of them, I get my ass kicked. But you know what? At least I take 1 or 2 down.
That's what I always say. I'm good for 2 to 3 guys.
That's
At
it.
least 2 to 3 of those guys are gonna get hurt.
Yep.
So they can roll their dice and figure out which 2 or 3 is gonna be the ones that get hurt.
That's it.
So like you said. So anyway, thanks for that permission. Now I'm gonna write that down
There you
in
go,
my
man.
notebook.
Enjoy.
Can you text that over to me? This way I can
Yeah,
show the
I will.
police.
I
after I'm
will.
in
Just
jail?
don't call me to bail you out.
But officers,
You're on your own, my man.
But officers, my friend said.
I said it. Freedom of speech. He didn't have to listen to me.
So,
You're on your own, boy.
Thanks. So yeah. So
and on top of that, you're Puerto Rican, so they'd be like, no, guilty. That dude's guilty as fuck.
Yeah.
So there you go, man.
All right. So I'll be careful where I eat.
You know. Nah, but it's just crazy, man. Like, you know, nowadays you can't even go out, you know, with your significant other or just a group of friends and just, you know, just to have a good time. And now you have to deal with this nonsense.
Well, I hope that stuff goes away. But I don't know because the State of the Union continues to be tenacious, and you know we just got a new Supreme Court nominee put up, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think it's a good choice. It's a good choice.
It seems like a good choice on paper.
Well, no. Look, okay, if you ask a Democrat, they're going to tell you how dare he nominate a person like that, right? If you ask a Republican, they're going to be like, oh, phenomenal choice. If you ask a independent like myself, I'm going to tell you that it's a good choice. Why do I say it's a good choice? Because just from what I've read, and again, this is what I've read, what's out there. I don't know this lady personally or anything like that. She's well educated. She's very well respected. It seems to, you know, she seems to know what's going on, and it seems to, or to me, that she is applying the law exactly the way it's written. That's just what I see.
Right.
Again, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm just going based on what I see. But now, obviously, one of the big things that I'm reading is that they don't like her because of her Catholic upbringing.
And I have to tell you, let me stop you right there, because this is the one thing I wanted to mention, because as you had said, on paper, everything seems like legit. It's like someone who could be taken as a legitimate candidate.
Yeah.
I was watching the news shows, and they played a clip, one of these news shows, of Bill Maher doing his nightly TV show.
Yeah.
And he made a comment which I found particularly offensive as a Catholic. And essentially his comment was, Amy Coney Barrett, she's a Catholic. She's not only Catholic, she's a super Catholic. So much so that she speaks in tongues. Mm-hmm. I found it to be super duper offensive, because if anyone would have said that about any other religion, people would be up in arms.
He definitely wouldn't have said that about Muslims.
Yeah, Muslims, but right? No, but even if someone says something about the
Jewish
faith,
but that's what I'm saying.
People be
like
up
a
in
guy
arms.
like him, he'll say that about a Catholic, but he would never say anything about Muslims because he's a coward. You know what I'm saying? Like he won't. He'll just. He has his own little. I don't even want to talk about this.
Me neither. But I have to say,
this guy's a dick.
We're all about free speech and talking about. But I felt like that came out of left field. It was like you couldn't find anything else to say about this person.
Yeah. He doesn't even know her.
Yeah, you don't even know her, right? Because no one really knows her. But the one thing that you could find is that she's a super Catholic and she's speaking in tongues.
Come on, man.
And that really got, and I'm Puerto Rican, got Hispanic, Latino background. We're serious about our faith. I found that super offensive.
Yeah, but that's the problem nowadays, that all these people, and it's a lot of the white people, like that celebrity white people, that say all this shit because they just want to be, they want everybody to say, hey, look, I'm with you. But you're not, dick, because you're excluding a lot of the Hispanic people. The Hispanic people, Christian, Catholics. You're right now, by saying stupid shit like that, you're already telling Hispanics, I'm against you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And come on, man, enough is enough.
That was ridiculous.
I totally agree with that, man. Come on, man. I mean, if it's gonna be fair game for everybody, then go ahead and talk about everybody. Mm-hmm. But a guy like that, perfect. He's gonna be saying all this stupid shit, but he won't never mention anything about the black culture or do none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? These are the, like what you said, the experts that don't know shit. Mm-hmm. And I guarantee you that motherfucker, when he was younger or whatever, I guarantee you he must have at least said the N-word once in his life. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. Fuck that guy, man.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Look what you did, man. You got me.
No, but it's true, because look, I enjoy listening to comedians, and I don't mind when people make jokes and stuff. That just was just like totally tacky. You could see he had to find something to say, and he went to the religious route. And again, whether you are very religious or not, that I just felt that was very offensive, and I didn't like it at all. So I wanted to call him out, and so fuck that guy, like you said.
Yeah, fuck him. That's it. Move on.
Yeah, so let's move on. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. But the reason why I mentioned the news Supreme Court nominee is because now all the hearings are going to come, and they're going to start grilling her. So I'm sure it's going to be a very active news cycle for us over the next week or so. Yeah. Not to mention the fact that there was also an update on the Breonna Taylor case.
Yeah, that was another one, man. Yeah, you can approach that story in so many different ways. I wish I could. I don't know, man. I understand where the black community could be in uproar in regards to the way, I guess, the charges that came down or whatever were.
Yeah.
The fact that the one cop that got indicted wasn't being charged for causing her death, right?
Right.
Just that he put the other people in danger, possibly, right?
Wanton violence.
Well, wanton is like reckless, right? So I get it. I totally understand that. Where the problem for me, where the police department came into play, was the fact that they took forever to have this investigation. And you know what? You need to have that time, right? You need to investigate it properly. But if you knew from day one, right? All right, so you know what the difference between a no-knock warrant is, and you do, all right? So, okay. So
only because I heard it on TV.
All right, so no-knock warrants, technically, you're just going through the door, right?
Right.
Because there's an imminent threat, something inside there. You need to take action first.
And you have permission legally to do that.
By a judge. All right? But the no-knock warrant is not just for officer safety, but it's also for the safety of the people you're going in there to grab.
Correct.
Right? Okay, so in this particular case, they did have a no-knock warrant, but they didn't execute a no-knock warrant. They actually knocked on the door, and they announced themselves as police. So when nobody opened the door, when they didn't respond, then they went through the door, right? And the first thing that happened was Breonna Taylor's boyfriend shot at one of the cops and hit him in the leg. that caused the chain reaction of these other cops firing into the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Those are the facts that I understand and what I've read, right? For me, in this particular case, why didn't, when this whole thing came out and they would concentrate on this no-knock warrant, why didn't they say from day one that, yes, it was a no-knock warrant, but it wasn't executed as a no-knock warrant? They actually did knock, so it's not like they just busted through the door without identifying themselves. You understand? And that's where I think the mistakes are, that they held on to all this information. It gave everybody that huge buildup of the unjust aspect of this girl losing her life over some shit like that. You understand? Rather than to at least quell these arguments right off the bat before all this shit happens. And I think a lot of the problem there is sometimes you got people that are in charge that really don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah,
man.
definitely.
You know, and the other thing for me was the actual warrant itself. They had applied for that warrant. Let's just say, I'm not going to go into dates because I really don't know all the dates, but let's just say they applied for the warrant and they got the warrant approved in January. They didn't execute that shit for fucking 2 months. The warrant, when you're applying for the warrant and it's going to be executed, all that stuff, all that information needs to be grouped together in a short period of time, and you need to act on it within the information that you accumulate within that short period of time, right?
Right.
So let's just say, for instance, I'm checking you out, right? So I'm doing intel on your house, and I'm looking for you.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm sitting outside, or, you know, just like a stakeout, right? Like in that movie Stakeout.
With Madeline Stowe.
With Madeline Stowe, man.
Madeline Stowe. I was
best,
so
right?
in love with her.
Oh, man.
I still am.
You know, she actually still looks nice.
She does, but she had work.
She did?
She had work. She was on a TV show called Revenge. I'm talking about a segue, right? She was on a TV show called Revenge, and she still looked good. But I'll never forget her from Stakeout because I thought she was Spanish. Because in the show,
So did I.
In the movie,
So did I. What is she? What is she, Italian?
She's no, what is she? She's like Irish.
Yeah.
Maybe like a slight bit of like Mexican.
Yeah.
Very low, but
So did I, man.
I thought she was like Spanish. I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
she's so beautiful. Not that she needs to be Spanish to be, but that just stood out in my mind.
Yeah.
And then she was in Last of the Mohicans.
That one. What about General's Daughter? Remember with John
Yes,
Travolta?
she was in.
Yeah.
She was good there
She was
too.
good, yeah.
No, but I fell in love with her in The Last of the Mohicans. But and then I just thought she was beautiful in Stakeout.
You mean the last of the Mohicans?
Yeah, the
Remember?
Mohicans.
Carlito's Way?
Carlito's Way, man.
What was I saying, bro? See? Anyway, like a stakeout, right?
Yes,
So
stakeout.
let's go back into the stakeout. Yeah, let's get back into the group. All right, so now I'm doing intel on your house,
Yeah.
wherever the hell it is, right? And I'm like, okay, this guy, look, he takes out the garbage every day at 5 o'clock, and, you know, they turn on the lights at this time, and then the dog gets let out at this, whatever. So you have that intel. You provide that intel. They say, okay, perfect. You know, go in there or grab the guy when he turns on the light, whatever, at this time. But now fast forward, you don't execute the warrant for 2 months, right? In 2 months, a lot of things can happen, right? You could go on vacation. You can, you know, the dog just all of a sudden is not going to go out through that door. It's going to go out through the other door, and so on and so on, right? And so when you wait 2 months, all the intel that you just collected is no good because of all these different circumstances, right? So these people, from my understanding, they executed this warrant 2 months after the original intel was created, right? And so things change, man. And in this particular case, I think the guy that they were actually there to grab was no longer there, right? I think it was her former boyfriend.
It was her ex-boyfriend.
Her ex-boyfriend, whether he was in jail or whatever it was, the guy was no longer part of that intel. And so this is the shit that happens, you know what I mean? Now, all of a sudden, they go in there and they fuck up, and that's it, end the story. But when you look at the law that is already there in effect, what he was saying, what the Attorney General was saying, it made sense when you listen to what he was saying. It made sense in that the cops, they didn't go in there blasting away. They went in there, they went in there, and then they got shot at first, and then they started blasting away. That changes the circumstances completely.
It does.
You know what I mean? So now, if somebody is hurt by that, it changes. You can't listen. Like, I know they wanted like a murder charge or something. Murder is premeditated, man. So if you're going in there, say, hey, we're gonna go in there and just go kill motherfuckers, and you do it, that's murder.
Right.
But if you're going in there for something else and then you end up killing somebody, right? That's not murder. It's not like you wanted to kill the person, right? Yeah, he's reckless, right? There's many things that can happen. That could be an accident and somebody could lose their life. In this particular case, they didn't get charged with that, or only one guy got charged with a reckless because of bullets ending up in somebody else's apartment. And I don't even want to get into, her family. They secured a good chunk of money, for her death, and that's not going to.
Yeah, it's not going to bring her back.
It's not going to bring her back or anything like that. But in this particular case, maybe they were trying to, I guess, correct the situation somehow. It's hard, man. Like, the law is the law. You know what I mean?
Right.
And this goes back to the Supreme Court. If you apply the law the way it's written, then it doesn't fit into this. It doesn't work. So you can't charge them with that. If you're gonna start, changing it as it comes, then the law would never work, because then what's the purpose?
Right.
Right. So that was my take on it.
No, I agree. I think, one of the things that I thought was interesting was that all the news studios or stations, as the verdict was shared, or whatever the results of the grand jury were shared, they were like posing, like, here I'm standing on the corner of blah, 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 corner. And it was almost like they were waiting for like an eruption of violence to come out. Yeah. Like they were predicting it, almost hoping that it would happen.
Well, it did happen, but a little bit later.
No, it did, but it wasn't as much as I think they were hoping. Like I felt like they had news cameras ready to go, like really hoping to get some good footage. And I hope that people realize that violence and this destruction is not the answer to get what you need and to get what you want. And I think politicians can learn from that, because they're really digging their heels in on one thing or another, not working with each other. And if you think about all the time that's been wasted on stupid, petty disagreements, the American people are the ones that are losing out. Yeah. And to your point, the law is the law.
I mean, you can amend
the laws.
It takes time,
but you got to follow that process.
But this is the thing:
blowing shit up is not gonna necessarily help you.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, we can't tell the future. We don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. There could be another incident tomorrow that completely is out of the scope of what the law. Right. Mm-hmm. So how do you fix that? Well, little by little, I mean, we don't know what's going to happen, right? So now that we know that, this shit happened, maybe, these legislators, these politicians, right, that we elect, be smart enough to say, hey, listen, okay, unfortunately somebody lost their life. Let's correct the problem for future so that this thing doesn't happen again. But these people are not interested in that shit. No. They're just interested in fucking gaining celebrity and just saying stupid shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's all they care about. They don't really care about fixing the system, and that's the problem that we've been facing for all this time.
And when they try to fix the system, they wind up messing it up and watering it down. And they want to do that in all aspects. In fact, here's a story that I know that that you probably have a better understanding of it than I do.
Now, what's that, man? Because I'm from South America?
No, there was a story that I read about the U.S. Army eliminating what they called shark attacks by drill sergeants. Yeah. So essentially, it was my understanding that this was due to, well, I don't know what it was due to, but essentially what it is that when people are entering basic training, and regrettably, I did not have the opportunity, or I should say I didn't take advantage of the opportunity to serve the country.
You had the opportunity, you were just a little bitch.
I just, life. That's what it was. Life.
No, life shit, dude.
But I have brothers, cousins, friends, lots of family members who are, served with honor. So it's my understanding that when you get off the bus or whatever, and you go to basic training, that people, like, they'll start yelling at you or whatever, and they call it a shark attack. Well, apparently now they're eliminating this, and they're replacing it with, like, icebreakers and team building events to make bonds with teammates and leaders.
This is the most ridiculous shit I've ever heard in my life. First of all, I didn't even know that shit was called shark attack, bro. I just thought, when I went through it, it was get your ass ready to get your ass kicked, bro. Because, well, let me explain to you how it happened for me. And
briefly,
very briefly,
because I know you have lots of experience here.
Young kid, showing up, Parris Island, South Carolina. I get out of that bus, man. The guy comes in, drill instructor, right? It's midnight. It literally is midnight. They get you there on purpose at midnight. You're fucking tired the entire day, right? And you get there, drill instructor.
So they purposely take you there at the most uncomfortable time.
Check this out. Well, let me put it this way. So I'm coming from New York, right, going to South Carolina.
Right.
Now, if you take the road trip from here to South Carolina, how long is it going to take you? 10 hours, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. Drive, right? Okay. If you take a flight, it's going to get you there in about an hour. Okay. We took a flight from JFK to South Carolina, right? We got there, I would say, in about an hour. Then they put your ass. First of all, they take you down to this waiting area in the airport, right, where they fucking have you sit down with your head on a fucking table, and what they're doing is they're waiting for more recruits from different states to come in and fill up that fucking room.
Okay.
Once the room is full,
then they move you.
Then they move you into a fucking waiting bus, right, and that bus takes you to Parris Island. Well, from the airport to Parris Island, it's probably like 25 minutes.
Okay.
Dude, they literally drive in a fucking circle for hours and hours and hours and hours until it's midnight. They get you into the fucking Paris Island. You're so fucked up and tired. This drill instructor, who's probably had enough sleep for the entire day, he's got so much energy and ready to go. He gets into the bus, and he just basically says, from what I remember, on behalf of the commanding general of Paris Island, we welcome you. And that's how he talks, bro. Nice and easy.
Nice and easy.
We welcome you to Paris Island Recruit Depot at this time. Get the fuck off my bus! Get the fuck off my... Yo, bro, you got to see motherfuckers jumping over chairs. Yo, the seats, dude, they're just jumping and getting the fuck out. At that point right there, you have no idea what the fuck is going on. They got you so confused. Dude, I was so scared shitless. I was saying to myself, as soon as that shit happened, I was like, what the fuck did I get myself into?
Oh, my God.
But that right there prepares you. It breaks you down and it begins the process.
Yeah, I was going to say,
right?
it's like breaking you down from your civilian life to now being able to be military.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. And that's and from what I remember, I thought, and to this day, I do believe that you need to have that because there's so many people out there, they wouldn't even know how to react. See, when you told me about that,
Mm-hmm.
I thought about it. I said, wait a minute, you know what? With that kind of thinking, if the bad guy, if you're in war and you get captured, you are going to be the first person within seconds. You're going to give up your people's location. You're going to give up names. You're going to give up everything because you're not going to be trained to be hard. I mean, technically, listen, the military is set up so that this way a young kid, right? A young kid comes in there so they could, I mean, effectively you could call it, they could brainwash you into becoming hardcore, into becoming a warrior. You need to be able to do that in order to succeed when you're in battle. That's just the way it is, man. I mean, that's how it is. I mean, that's why these Navy SEALs are fucking badass, man, because those motherfuckers go through the kind of training that I could never go through, man.
Right.
You know, I know.
Right. You have to know it's either him or me.
Exactly. So if you're joining the military and all of a sudden they're telling us that they're no longer going to do that, and it's going to be like, hey, let me hold your hand and let me walk you to the footsteps.
Like build bonds with your teammates.
Build bonds? Yeah, great. Go ahead and build bonds. Let's see how that works out, man. I don't think that works.
I agree. I don't think it will work because I think you need to, it's not about just getting along. Sometimes people have a hard time with authority, and sometimes you just got to like say yes, sir, and just do what's being told. I feel like people today have a real hard time being told what to do. Everyone wants to be treated special, and nobody wants to be told what to do. And that's a problem.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
Again, I didn't even know that it was called a shark attack. But
that's what I read.
One of the other reasons that you do that is when you do that, you're putting everybody in the same position, right? So like if you think about it, man, right? We got people from all over the world or the country coming into this one particular area. You're going to have guys that are phenomenal athletes. You're going to have people that have never left their home, right? So you have a whole bunch of people that are in completely different, aspects of their life, right? They just, now you break everybody down into the same mold, man. And so then this way, now that right there to me builds camaraderie.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right? Because now you got this big, tough guy. They're going to break him down, and he's going to feel like that little nerd. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's intended. So this way they can build everybody up from the bottom up. By doing this whole thing that you're telling me about, I don't think it works. And for years ago, I heard about them giving out stress cards.
Stress cards?
This is what I heard. And so one of my friends was telling me about this, and he goes, can you believe this? They give you now 3 stress cards, right? So it's technically just like a card.
Okay.
You put in your pocket. And so if you feel like the drill instructor is stressing you out too much, you're supposed to pull out one of these stress cards. You basically say, please don't yell at me anymore.
Oh, my God.
And the drill instructor technically is supposed to
Does he take
stop
it away?
right there. I'm assuming he
You
takes
get-
it
you get
away
3
because
chances?
you get 3, right? So you might as well use them at the right time. But that's what I heard, that this is what they're resorting to now, and I'm completely against that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I agree with people getting tortured. That's not what this is. But when you're talking about military and you need to have your people defending your country be the best people possible and the toughest people out there, you're not going to do that by having an icebreaker and exchanging notes on where you went to school.
Well,
right?
listen,
You got to break them down.
If you're joining the Cub Scouts, all right, I get it. Civilian, you're still at the house, and you want to do that, fine. But when it comes down to the military, I think that's the wrong way to go, man.
Yeah, well, look, you would know better than me, Captain.
You know?
All I know is that I respect the armed forces. Thank you for what you guys do, and nothing but respect.
Thank you, and thank you for being a chicken shit and not joining.
Hey, look, I really can't
stand people like you.
I really can't say that I did it. I did my life didn't allow me to do it, but I had nothing but respect for those
You
people.
remind me of one of the guys from Officer and Gentleman, the
Officer.
little Spanish guy.
Really?
Where Louis Gossett Jr. goes, "Oh, you're one of those college boys, aren't you?"
Exactly. Exactly. I was a college boy. So yeah, so look, so we got the Supreme Court nominee, we've got this Breonna Taylor stuff going on, but like we're how many more days till the
30 something. What was 2 days before the
we have 2
the
days
debate,
to the debate, and then how many days to the
election, right?
the
40 days,
something like that.
I don't know.
But you know what's crazy?
What was that?
So all this stuff is going on, but I got an email from someone who runs a Wilmer Valderrama webpage.
Get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck for real.
It was
No, come on,
kinda,
fill me in.
No, it's just kind of like saying, hi, and then followed our
And that
our
was
Instagram.
it. Oh, I thought you were gonna tell me, hey, I know Wilmer.
How close?
He's
But how close was it? It said Wilma Valderrama fan page moderator. I was just like,
man. I thought you were gonna tell me it was his brother or something.
No.
Fuck.
But it's better than
Damn,
nothing. But
The
yeah,
Godfather.
close. It was
Little
close.
by little. I think we're jabbing away right at the wall.
Little by little. But the reason why I was mentioning that is because I was thinking of one of those hotties from back in the days. But I don't think Wilma Valderrama messed around with her.
Who?
But you something we were talking about with Alyssa Milano. She was in the news recently, right?
Oh, her again, man. Yeah.
She's a bit of a cuckoo, but she was so awesome back in when they were. Was it Who's the Boss? Who's the
Tony
boss?
Danza.
Samantha, right?
That's what it was. Yeah, Samantha, right?
Samantha, she was so cute. I'm a big and then she was on a show called Charmed, right?
Is that the one with
like
the
she was
girl
like a
from
wich?
Beverly Hills 90210?
Yeah, she was.
Yeah,
in that.
yeah. She was in
the
it,
show.
right?
Yeah.
I think she was in it.
Yeah, she was so cute then, and now she's just off a rocket. And we actually spoke about a couple of podcasts ago where she doesn't, she's like on the twilight of her career, not really doing a lot, and so now she's like super political.
Yeah. No, she's I think what you're alluding to is that she is, for the defund the police.
Correct.
And there was an incident at her home where I guess somebody or a neighbor told her, "Hey, there's a guy walking around in all black near your house," or something like that. Who did she call? She sure didn't call the Ghostbusters, dude. She called the police. Right? So here we go. A person who wants no police is calling the police for help. Well, why didn't you have your husband go out there and take care of the situation if you don't need the police?
Yeah.
Why don't you go out there and take care of the situation? These people are full of shit, dude. Full of shit. And then I'm reading, she's trying to save face now. Oh, no, we didn't call the police. We were calling for something else and this and that, la, 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 whatever. But, yeah, guess what? She had part of that, and she called the police.
Yeah. And again, that's why I think it's so hilarious, because you said it before. These people, they talk so much smack, but then they're the first ones to call the police. And we had seen like a video of like some protesters and some guy, they were protesting, and some guy in the car stopped his car because they threw something at him. And then he started to back up. And then the first thing they said was, "Oh my God, someone call the police." You're literally protesting the police. And that's the first thing.
That's the first thing you do. Yeah.
Right.
That goes to show you, man.
But look, and I want to be clear. Like I think that police have to do things the right way, treat people the right way. So I'm all for. I would say not defunding, better oversight, right? Like take a look at how they manage their programs. There's definitely like room for improvement. But this broad-based defund the police.
And I mentioned it before. The way you fix the problem is to invest more money in policing, so that this way they get better training. I've said it.
That makes the neighborhood safer. Yeah.
Not everybody is intended to be a police officer.
Yeah.
Again, there are great benefits to becoming a police officer. Your pensions, all that stuff is great. And so people join for those particular reasons. But not everybody's intended to be there. It's the same thing with the military. Not everybody's intended to go to boot camp and surpass the expectancy of, hey, you accomplished this, and that, or whatever. Not everybody's intended to do that. And that's why they have boot camps. So that this way, if you're not intended to be there, you're not going to make it. You're not going to graduate. Not everybody graduates. But nowadays, it's like, oh, no, you have to give everybody the equal check. No, you can't do that. In certain jobs, you just can't have that. And in policing, you need more training. And that's where the problem is. They're not training people properly. They're not getting rid of the people that are supposed to not be in there. And these are the people that are usually having the issues.
Right.
I'm telling you.
They got to get rid of that dead weight and better.
They have to. And that's what it is. It's all politics again, because a lot of the times you won't get of somebody in particular. Why? Because they're related to the commissioner, or they're related to the governor, or they're related. So, they want to be a cop, so they put them in there.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, they don't have the ability or the knowledge or anything to be in there. You know what I mean?
And to be fair, that happens in all kinds of industries too.
Yeah. But you need to listen. That you got to call a timeout on this shit and say, hey, you know what? Enough is enough. No more of that nonsense. We got to get the people that belong because of these fucking problems that we're having.
Yeah. And
if you don't learn from that shit, then it's on the politics. It's on them.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of common sense, and I think the other thing, it's all timing, right? It's all this, the elections are coming up, and you even see the politicizing of things like the COVID vaccine, right? Supposedly the COVID vaccine. I hear that they say that it's coming up in like November. Then they say no. The CDC says it won't be available till like Q1 of next year, and then it's like then you start doubting. Should I?
But let me ask you a question.
What?
With that being said, if that thing was ready today, right? Ready today.
Yeah.
Would you take that?
Hell no. No. You know what? I would take it as soon as you take it.
Well, I'm taking.
I'm gonna say let him give it to him first, and then I'll see what the reaction is.
Why is he on the floor? Why is he convulsing? Is that supposed to be like that?
No, I think I'll pass.
I just spoke to my doctor.
Yeah.
And I asked him. I said, hey, listen. I need you're my doctor. You're supposed to be looking out for me. If I was to ask you, should I take that vaccine right off the bat? What would you recommend? And he told me, he goes, listen, he explained to me that there's different vaccines that they're working on right now.
Right.
And each particular vaccine is targeted for, particular people. And so he says, listen, I'm going to tell you that you should take it because at some point, no matter which way you look at it, somebody's got to take it, right? They're not going to create all these vaccines to try to help people, and then nobody takes it because they don't want to be the first one, right?
Someone's got to take it.
In my particular case, going overseas, I got so many different shots of shit that I can't even tell you what I got. I mean, they would just fucking playing darts on my ass, throwing these fucking vaccines and all kinds of shit at me.
Right.
If that stuff didn't kill me back then, this fucking vaccine's not gonna kill me. So if it's available today, I'm gonna take it.
I'll take it. But I just don't want to be first. I don't want to be first in line.
Once again, chicken shit.
What if it transforms?
They didn't want to go to the military,
like
and then now you don't want to be the first one online.
Military versus a vaccine, two
same
different
shit,
things.
Dude. Same thing,
two
man.
Different things.
Same thing. Stop it, man. You're always making excuses.
I said I'm going to take it,
but you're always making excuses.
You first.
See what I mean?
That's
you first. That's a fucking excuse. Get the fuck out of here.
You
man.
First.
I will do it. I'll take it. I'll do it first.
All right, and I hope all our listeners take the vaccine too.
Well,
listeners, after you take it, let me know how it goes, and I'll take it.
But in all honesty, if these people they're making they're working on these vaccines to help people, and we have this huge issue. Hey, listen, man, somebody's got to take it, man, listen, you got to cross your fingers, hope that it's good, and that's it.
No, but here's the thing: I wouldn't take a vaccine to make a political statement. Is my point. I'll take it when I feel like it seems like it's tested and it's safe.
But who do you believe? So. If a doctor tells you that, hey, this thing is safe, and then the next doctor say, nah, I don't know about that.
Well, this is what I'm saying.
So how do you know?
But this is the way that I've been even with like the regular flu vaccine, because they have different strains of the flu vaccine, and the doctors always say take your medicine, right? They always say it. Sometimes you get doctors who are not conventional and they have different opinions. For me, I think as I think about myself, I will definitely want to take the vaccine. I'm just saying I don't want to take like. It's like when Apple releases a software update. It's never, hey, version 1, and then it's good to go for like, 2 or 3 months. It's version 1.1.5.6.
But each one of those also tells you this fixes this, and that, or whatever,
I just don't
right?
I don't want version 1. I want version 1.5.6.
Yeah, well, when you get version 5.4, whatever it is, your product is going to be out of date. That's a bad way to explain it, bro.
I'm just saying I want to make sure that it's a good one.
The thing is this, man. Unless we're the actual doctors that are studying this and doing it, you're never gonna know. You gotta entrust in somebody, right? And that's it. I mean, you either take it or you don't. Yeah, that's it. I mean,
I will. Like I said, I probably will take it. But hey, I'm telling
my fans, you should take the vaccine if it becomes available. Yeah. Before there are no more vaccines available.
Oh yeah. So that's different now. So you're telling me that there's only going to be a limited supply?
Stockpile? They're going to. Yeah, there is going to be a limit at the beginning, obviously.
Oh, so now that you said that,
now you want to fucking take it. Now you want to be one of those people, right? I knew. Okay, how about this? How about I sell you my vaccine?
Oh yeah.
I'll be the next group. How about that? I'll give you mine, but you have to pay me.
Okay.
You do it?
No.
See,
I take it back.
what I mean? There you go. Check your shit again.
I want it for free. So listen, so we're almost out of time on the podcast, man.
Again?
I can't believe how fast things go. But I know
I didn't even get a chance to talk about Derek Jeter and Don Mattingly, man. They beat the Yankees to get into the playoffs, and they're both Yankees. So I didn't even get to talk about that.
No,
because I know you're a big Yankee fan.
Yeah, but hold on. But I wanted to give you time to talk about your Bills.
My Bills. Oh, they're playing. They're playing today. Today, yes, they are playing today. The L.A. Rams.
Yes,
and they are going to destroy them. And I want to throw a big shout out to my Bills Mafia out there. Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo. And then stand for the flag, man. Again, I'm a military guy, so stand for the flag.
Yeah, I'm more of a Giants fan. Not a lot for me to be too optimistic about, but I'm a New York fan. So Buffalo Bills are a New York team.
Our New York team, the only New York team, my man. Just remember that.
Yeah, no. So I support the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, Giants Jets play in Jersey.
Yeah, no, I support them.
That's it.
So yeah, so listen, guys, thank you so much for all the support that you've been giving us. We've been seeing a lot of the love out there on social media. Thank you for your Instagram follows and the messages that you guys are sending us. We're going to have a lot more content coming out to you guys that are really kind of specialized. One of the things that we're going to be doing is we're going to be rating our favorite drinks. And so that's going to be a special podcast.
Yes.
You're going to hear how the captain evolves as he takes 1, 2, 3 shots.
I think, but see, I don't think I'm going to be good at this because I don't drink. So I don't know what I'm testing. Like, I don't know what
you might say something crazy?
More than what I'm already saying?
More than you already
I don't know, man. I don't know. But I think we need to bring somebody in.
Yes.
So any fans out there who are experts would like to join us, we would love to have you. I need to have an expert here so that at least somebody could explain. It's just like when you're, right? Like when you're tasting wine or there's a certain way of smelling it and doing it, right? I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah. Well,
so I'm going to just tell you, this thing sucks.
Yeah. Well, we're going to make a best effort to make it classy.
All right. Who can we get? We need to get somebody good.
So we'll get someone, and we've got a couple of guests in the wings that we're planning on recording some special podcasts for. So we're looking forward to that.
Thank you for all the love. We're definitely feeling it, and being a startup, really doing value everybody's support. We've been getting a lot of support and a lot of emails, and thank you. Keep it coming. I really appreciate the topics that you guys want to discuss, and a lot of topics that we do discuss are based on emails that we read. So thank you very much to everybody, and
and keep the feedback coming. You can send us a quick message at feedback@outofthecavepodcast.com. Those messages come straight to us, and we'll start sharing some of the messages that we get from the fans on our podcast. But there's a lot more to come. Thank you everyone for listening, and we look forward to talking to you next week.
Alrighty. Enjoy.
Enjoy everyone. Take care.
Peace.